What's up, my friends? Welcome to METAL4AFRICA. This is our first stream of a series that we're doing where we're going to be building up towards METAL4AFRICA's next festival, our return to the live scene after 2.5 years of hell, COVID-induced hell. My friends, we're so happy to be coming back, and I think with the amount of shows we've seen bands doing and the amount of attendance we've seen people doing at the shows just lately, I think we're coming back to something really beautiful, guys. So tonight we have Callen, Plessis joining us from the Alpha Sequence. We're going to be having just a bit of a casual chat. We'll spend a few minutes together, hear about what's cooking with the Alpha Sequence, how they've survived lockdown, and maybe to some degree how they've evolved through lockdown. So with no further delay, let's say, how's it? Callen, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, how's it going, man? Always good, and yourself?
No, fucking great, man. Like,
always good, man.
As I said, super thrilled about getting back on the wagon, getting back in the mosh pit.
Yeah, dude. No, it's gonna be this M4A. I think it's gonna be like far greater than the previous one. I'm hoping, man. And also the last one was great as well. Flipping full crowd. Can't wait to play on that stage, man.
Yeah. Well, I think for a lot of people, it's going to be like kind of like a bit of a homecoming.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we haven't had shows in between, and there were even a couple of like very risky shows during the course of the pandemic, but all low key and small numbers of people. Everyone being very cautious. But I think where we are now, we're ready to rock.
Yeah, 100. Keen. I think the guys are ready. I mean, all the bands are ready, and just that time, man. People want that, that vibe.
But I mean, tell me, playing the show now coming up, it's obviously not your guys' first show post-COVID. I mean, you just played Stellenbosch, was it last weekend?
I think that was like 2 weekends ago, I think. With
Tell us about it.
Callen. Man, that show was next level. The vibe, it was so much energy. You know, when, how can I say, when you're just in your element, you know, playing and everything goes smoothly. We had so many great like compliments on the show. Yeah. It was really one for the books, man.
Yeah, awesome. And I mean, playing with Facing the Gallows, I mean, they've really stepped up into kind of almost like a bit of a legendary status, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Their performance is tight. It's great. It's really really well rehearsed.
Yeah. Speaking of well rehearsed, I mean, I'm listening to your guys' tracks here in the background, and like I have to ask, how is your maths skills at school level?
Average, I'd say.
Well, it's not average anymore.
Not the greatest, yeah. You get used to writing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say fast and melodic, groovy stuff. It's you have to accent a lot of things, you know.
Yeah. No, well, it's grooving, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, sorry, just like, you know, speaking about the music, you were telling me not too long ago that you guys are reaching kind of your 10-year milestone since actually starting the project. But now, on that question, you're actually not native to Cape Town, are you? You're from PE, if I recall.
I'm from East London.
East London, that's it. That's it. I knew it was somewhere that side.
Yeah, there was nothing to do there besides like surf and stuff and play guitar.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about your musical journey from East London days through to finding yourselves in here in Cape Town and starting up the Alpha Sequence.
Yeah, man. I matriculated in 2009, and then I joined a band called For the Forgotten. We played with the Dead Will Tell and some of the Joburg bands. Oh, my first gig was actually, we opened up for Chromium at Musos. There was a festival or a place called Musos in East London. Yeah. And there was a little festival. It was Dead Will Tell, Chromium, and some other bands. And yeah, that was my first gig. Then we jammed for like 2 years, I think. 2011.
But I mean, that's a wild start,
Yeah,
actually, hey? Your first gig playing
yeah,
with the Dead Metal and Chromium.
yeah, man, it was crazy. Super nervous, man. Super.
Yeah.
I don't think I played the one correct note up there. I was
Ah.
just frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, we got to start
but
somewhere.
yeah, true that. That was with For the Forgotten. Then after For the Forgotten, 2011, I made well, created We Seek Vengeance. We jammed for 2011 and 2012. Then we did a Cape Town tour into 2000 we did a Cape Town tour. Then I stayed here, and
Yeah.
then the rest of the guys went back. And
Oh,
then
so you
that's when I
literally
like,
got off the tour and in Cape Town.
yeah, yeah, exactly. On
But
the
was that
11th,
like premeditated, or were you just taken by
yeah, I was just like, no,
inspiration?
I'm staying here, man. My dad stays in Cape Town, so
Okay.
I was like, cool, I want to move up, and I want to move up now. And then I started getting um, members together. I think that was 2012 in August when
Yeah.
I
Oh
started.
shit. So it
Yeah,
really is a
because
10-year, like
yeah,
like
yeah,
almost to the date.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Because I started college at SAE on the 1st of August or 1st of September 2012 because I did the September intake. Yeah, 1st of September 2012. I did the September intake for 1 year, and then while while that was going on, I started to keep finding members and stuff.
Cool.
It's either 2012 or 2013,
Yeah. Now I'm
somewhere
trying to
around there.
remember the first time you played a um, a Metal for Africa show because you've now done a couple. I think this one coming will be your third, if I'm not mistaken.
Third, yeah, yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah.
Wow,
Which
Jesus.
one was the first? Do you remember which year? 2015.
Could have been. I think there was a Medal for Africa when Zane still used to do the 18 till I die.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think that would have been 2015 or
I
so
think so
15,
because I think
17. Or,
yeah, because I
yeah.
think it might have actually been our first Medal for Africa at the current venue. Um,
Mm,
like our very first one when
yeah,
it was still called Tiki Dry.
I
And
think
now
so.
it's called Tiki Dry again. See, everyone's
Yeah,
going
man,
back to their roots.
that's it.
But I mean, it's a cool
Yeah,
place.
that's it. It's a
Like,
really
yeah,
nice place, man.
we've
Super good venue.
yeah,
Nice
we've really
time.
made ourselves at home there.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, considering that you've done 2 shows with us before, and that number of years has now come to pass,
Yeah.
um, tell us a bit about the band's development within
Okay.
performance-wise, songwriting-wise. The
Hmm.
mic is yours. I'm curious to hear a bit about this.
So, I took a lot of inspiration from obviously back in the day there was other members, but I took a lot of inspiration from still within the ruins, a little bit of Perish, Dahlia, um, and that was more my go-to when creating a song. Listen to the song that inspired me the most or was my favorite at that time. Because I used to practice quite a bit of different songs in order to learn
Yeah,
the techniques and all that jazz.
yeah,
And then as my ear grew more mature, I started listening to certain other bands after the
uh,
Burial came into play. Um, Always used to practice Bleed from a Sugar. Fuck that song. I got the technique down for that, and
yeah,
now I use it in when writing my own stuff. And I've actually kind of used that to develop another technique, which is pretty cool. It's kind of a reverse. Instead of down up, it's more like down up, but you play it at the same speed.
yeah.
It's also like a triplet kind of vibe. I'll show
Yeah.
you actually. You can hear this. Where's the pick?
And just show us how many strings are on that guitar.
Oh, 8
8
boy.
beautiful, shiny strings.
Yeah, I'll go through a clean patch so you can. So
Cool.
instead of down, up, down, up, down. So, because bleed would normally be like a.
Yeah.
So I kind of use that same technique. I've just edited or played around with it and found it, made it my own, you know, and then I wrote tracks from that. So that's in the new kind of stuff that we're writing now. It's not released yet. Like Breakout is the last one we released, but there's still like I think another 3 or 4 tracks that we still need to just record and then release, but they're already written.
Yeah.
Just having that time with the business starting and all that jazz. The last 2 years, it's just been crazy, you know.
Yeah, well, life's like that, hey, yes.
Yes.
But so you talk about new material in the pipeline. I was actually looking at your tracks earlier today, just looking at, you know, you had an album, then you had a single, then you had a more recent single. So tell us, when was that latest single released? It's been a while now, hey?
Breakout, that's a few months. I don't even know, honestly.
Don't even know.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a taste of what's coming on the full body of work.
That's it. Nice. That is a lot of bounce, a lot of groove. I don't want to play too fast anymore. You know, there'll be fast pieces, you know, maybe some solos or whatever, but keeping the groove going, and then adding your melodies on top of that, instead of just trying to, like Divine Sin, you know, that's a classical riff played for however long, like 30 seconds, and it just doesn't end.
I think that's actually here in my playlist in the background. Not maybe right now, but I know I've slotted it in.
Yeah, like that whole piece of you get that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's a whole lot of chunk.
Yeah, all those riffs, it's like it's super cool to play, but you know, I'm finding personally I'd rather play something slower, use a different technique to get that same fatness, you know, that same energy across, but so that I can move more. You know, I'd rather move more and have more fun on stage while keeping it technical and intricate.
And that your audience can move more.
Exactly. So, and this second album I actually wrote I'm writing from a crowd's perspective. That's why I've got a lot of parts that will move the crowd. You know, that's why I'm keen to see how this set that we played at M4A is gonna affect the crowd, and obviously with Joel and everyone moving and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a long-term goal or challenge, should I say? That I've been working towards.
So tell me about the band as it is now. I mean, you've just mentioned Joel, and I mean, I've been following that guy's like career, as it were, for a good couple of years now, and he's just going from strength to strength. And 100%. What I really appreciate about him is his diversity as an artist. It's actually quite ridiculous. How did it come to be that he's now jamming with you guys? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, obviously there was a fallout between Duan and myself and the rest of the guys in the band at the time, and we decided, you know, METAL4AFRICA was coming up, and we just didn't want to continue that vibe, and so start off fresh. And then I think Shulik messaged Joel, or I can't remember how actually Joel came to being in the band. Or that initial message, or I can't really remember that. But then we got a hold of Joel somehow, and he was like, "Cool, I'm on board." And it's about 7 days away from METAL4AFRICA, dude. And this oak wrote 6 songs in 7 days and still performed them. And I was like, "Yo, top." And but that Joel has just like gone. Also, his vocals like have gotten amazing. You know, he's kind of shaped from what he used to sound like in Alpha, and like made it his own, and listen to the music and see what kind of tones actually gel. He's put in some work, man. And I'm actually like lang proud of all the guys, dude. Like we all sit you know, when there's practice, everyone knows, okay, cool, go through your parts, make sure you're on point to practice. If there is anything like that someone's not getting right while we're practicing it, we'll say make it simpler, or you know, let's iron it out then we'll play over it like, you know, 4 or 5 times until it's perfect. So, but all the things are ironed out. There might be 1 or 2, but you know, it's a live performance. It's, if you want to listen to something perfect, put on a CD. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True. But you're not going to see people bouncing to a CD the way they're going to do to you guys when you're doing that shit in front of their faces.
Yeah, we'll always try to perfect it, you know, like that's just how we all are. It's amazing. It's great.
Excellent.
That's our best, yeah.
All right, well then tell me, final point of great interest is you have mentioned the new material that's been written. You have mentioned that it is a work in progress for recording, but I suppose you also said it's not something you can guarantee a timeline. So I won't press you on that now, but I think something a lot of people are thinking and still feeling quite hard is this chapter of our collective lives called COVID-19. Can you tell me how that impacted your guys' planning, your lives? What is it like picking up now after being locked down for so long?
I think, you know, we all took COVID as a break. You know, we couldn't get around, so we chilled. And COVID did us good because it gave us that break we needed. So when we came back, we were fresh. We were hungry for it. You know.
Yeah.
And all of us took it as cool. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah.
And straight after COVID, there was. Funny enough, Joel actually motivated me more to get the last 2 recordings out, get them done. Yeah, I took a break. I was lazy. I also was planning for the business I have now. Yeah, so that I took that time to. I was doing a business plan and, you know, research and all that jazz. So I was busy in my own, just not on music. And so when COVID, let's say the few months when COVID,
started tapering off.
Yeah. When that was in that time, we started connecting again, and he really got the ball moving. You know, it was funny enough. The name actually changed to Hollerhoek during that time.
Oh, hello.
Remember that was before COVID.
Yeah.
And because Shulik actually gave me an ultimatum. He said, "Okay, we changed the name because he didn't like the previous thing that was happening in the band. So he either we changed the name or he was going to leave." And so what happened was we changed the name, and then he got busy in business and all that, and then he couldn't make the band, so then he left anyway. Then we changed the band. Yeah, exactly. But it's all good. You know, if buddies joined the band, that's life. You know, if buddies joined the band, they can't make it, cool, we'll find someone else. It's no hard feelings. But anyway, then we changed the name back to Alpha, and carried on. But going back to your question, Joel actually helped get the ball running. You know, he always pushed me, come, let's release. And I think he also wanted to like showcase what he can do. And that's only the start of what he can do. Like now in practice, bro, it sounds good. I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
Great. Well, I'm looking forward to us getting outdoors soon. So on that, like if you don't mind, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the upcoming Metal for Africa for anyone who's following our chat at the moment. Don't go away yet though. I still have a few more things I want to chat to you about. Yeah, guys, so Metal for Africa is coming up on the 3rd of September. So that's a little shy of 3 weeks from now. So as most of you will be aware, we're actually doing it in 2 cities. We're doing it in Cape Town, which takes its format that most of us already know and love, at the venue we know and love, with the people and the bands we know and love. But added to that, we're doing Johannesburg. So we've got Nathan McClure up there. He's actually relocated there during COVID. You know, like a lot of our lives got turned topsy-turvy during that time. but from that, there's some strengths and advantages that we're actually building up out of. So yeah, that's METAL4AFRICA 22, Cape Town, and Joburg. And on top of that, we're looking to do a live stream. So this series of chats is actually part of that. It's building ourselves towards that moment, because it's obviously new to us and very exciting. And yeah, we just got to put in the work and make it happen. So please join us. Tickets are on sale. You guys can find our event on Facebook. You can check our ticket sales on our website, metal4africa.com. Join us on Instagram. Yeah, we're basically picking up where we left off, guys. So, yeah, it's got to happen. Had to happen. They couldn't keep us locked away forever. So, Callen, I just want to know your feelings on this reawakening of the scene. I mean, you were saying earlier on that you think it's going to be off the hook. Are there, like, people who you haven't seen in a long time that you're expecting to see at METAL4AFRICA?
I'm not much of a social bunny. Don't really get to see a lot of people like that.
Well, I think during lockdown we were all, I think we all got a bit of social anxiety, actually, after that. Or, like, throughout that.
Yeah, throughout it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I've actually seen in the last couple of shows before, faces that I haven't seen in a while, and that's, wearing the Alpha shirts, showing their support at previous shows. But,
it's a good reason to go back to the name, hey?
Yeah, man.
It's like there's a bit of a legacy.
That's it. It's nice to see that. Yeah. But yeah, you'll obviously meet the people that you forgot about, and haven't seen in that time. So there'll be a